I get your point. I totally agree with you. It's going to take a lot of work. That is why I was talking to a boda here in Kisumu just a few days ago. And the boda was telling me that if we really, really wanted to remove this regime, his suggestion was that we occupy also their homes, like the MPs, that we occupy their homes. We don't allow them to go to the offices. But you cannot really occupy their homes in Nairobi because there's police, and we occupy their rural homes. And people don't leave, and people don't go, like, literally, don't allow them to go to work, don't allow them to do anything, don't allow them to go to parliament, like, make them so uncomfortable. The other point I wanted to add before I finish today is that I read the book that was written by Wangari Maathai, and during Wangari Maathai movement, what she did was she camped in Uhuru Park every single day for at least 6 months. So this thing is not going to happen overnight. And when she was camping in Uhuru Park, of course, she wasn't camping in Uhuru Park alone. She was camping with other people. But the Nairobians got so used to her that people used to drop for her. People used to drop off breakfast. People used to drop off fruit. People used to drop off water. People used to drop off hygiene, clothes, and stuff like that. And it was because of her consistently, like, literally refusing to leave Uhuru Park. Okay, it is sad because this government keeps shooting and killing everybody. But if people went, just for example, to go the Wangari Maathai way, to just camp in Uhuru Park and not leave, and of course we have cell phones and we have, like, the whole world like watching what is going on, the whole world watching. And then we have the Nairobians that are not in Uhuru Park, just doing what they did during Wangari Maathai time, dropping off food every day, dropping off, like, this movement is going to take everybody for it to work. So once the regime is removed and now we want to start afresh, that is when I'm going to say again, in order for us to succeed, we're going to need a website and we're going to need to fundraise whatever we have, because without money, it's going to be so hard to do this movement with Gen Zs, most of whom are unemployed. Okay, some of them are working online. Gen Zs and millennials in Kenya, most of whom are unemployed and most of whom don't even have transport to town or food or something like that. So we need to hold each other's hands and we need to help each other. So I want to hear if anybody, what do you think? Dr. James, what do you think about camping in Uhuru Park? I'm keen on hearing your take on this. Thank you so much.
Can I just contribute something before I drop?
Katie, yeah, you can go ahead.
Mercy, so like when, for instance, just on that topic of the border and the constitution, when someone says we go and what do you call it, take over the homes of these MPs, as good as it sounds, you'll be going against Article, I think it's 37. If you have freedom to picket and express your whatever, your right, your voice, but it shouldn't be in violation of the other person's freedom. And that's why, from where I sit, most of the people who do not understand what the Gen Zs are doing, it's basically having your own mindset of, I have this rage of I want something done in a certain way, but I do not understand how to go about it. So, like, for instance, when a policeman arrests me, I have a right to know why I'm being arrested. I have a right to know who's arresting me. I have a right to know where I am going. But just because of that lack of knowledge, you get yourself in a very catch-21 situation that you don't know what to say, you don't know what to ask. And the most are doing, I know my rights, but you don't know what to do. But if you can just go look at, I think it's 37 or 37 or 36, either one of the two, whatever's, it actually narrates very well on the freedom of protesting and demonstrating, but it has a very good caveat on how you should not interfere with other people's freedom. So that is just my take based on what I have come to understand. And then when you talk about Uhuru Park, it's a very, very brilliant idea. It is actually one that had been talked upon, but it's now that's another thing we have to fight the government against, because they would not let it happen. I don't know why. There's some public places I just think they know. It's pretty much, I call them the takeover. Like, if that would be successful, that would be a very good way, because I would just like say tell everyone to carry their own tents and blankets and just decide and say, this is our camp, we're gonna stay there like forever. It would be a very good pull, just thinking about it and trying to imagine, but I just don't know how possible it is. That again brings us back to the constitution, because that means the government would not let you enjoy the freedom of being able to be anywhere you're supposed to be. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm saying. I think everything is just wrapped around this constitution.
Thank you.
That we need to know about things.
Yeah, thank you, Katie. Dr. James, before you come in, I just want to highlight something about camping in Uhuru Park, which is actually the purpose of the intent now. 8th, 9, that's the intention. I'm also kind of a bit doubtful about the execution. There was an instance similar in 2021, I think. There was a truckers' protest in Canada. They were saying the government is using COVID to actually take away their rights. And they came all over Canada, and then they assembled in the capital city, Ottawa. And what they did, they come there for almost, I think it was actually entire month, and it was in the middle of winter. So they organized everything. They came with their own toilet systems. They had used portable toilets. They had their own meals delivered. Some were cooking there. So it was really, really organized. But then the government, this is Canada, this is a first of all. So the government could not just, go in and then, start kicking people and then removing their food or the toiletries and everything. They had to wait, and then they only found a small window in the constitution to actually remove them. But even then, there wasn't tear gas or anything. They physically actually removed them, and it became a huge issue, a national issue. Justin Trudeau nearly actually lost his job. A commission of inquiry was formed. He nearly lost his job because of that. And you know what they did? They were actually making life completely difficult for the residents. Over a month in the middle of winter, minus 40 degrees. People could not even go to school, could not go to the streets. It became life difficult for the people. So now with the context, Uhuru Park and the government of Kenya, the president is William Ruto. Can we discuss the execution of this plan? First of all, we cannot actually. Can we get big hotels or guys like who can even the truckers did not actually have meals delivered from big hotels, but they organize some people to cook the meals in a separate arrangement, and then they will bring them in huge sufrias that one sufria can actually accommodate like 150 people. And then they had different stations of people who will go to their meals, some coffee. And imagine it was in the middle of winter. Now, the Nairobi weather is very good. You can stay at night, you can stay there in the day. But we're saying let's camp in Uhuru Park. But how do we actually execute these? Where do these guys eat? Where do they actually sleeping is not an issue? They can sleep on the grass. Where are the toilets? Where are they going to get in the drinking water? How do we actually execute these? Thank you, Doctor. You can come in.